Hi guys, my name is Corey and today I'm going to be doing the new to Booktube tag. So let's just get into it. Starting with number 1, where are you joining us from? I currently live just outside of Detroit, Michigan. And 2, how old are you? I'm 23 years old and I'm going on 24 in a couple of months. 3, why did you join Booktube? Okay, so I really wanted to get out of my comfort zone. And obviously taking videos of yourself and talking into a camera is out of most people's comfort zones, as I'm always the person who's recommending books to my friends, and I want someone to know what I like and to recommend books to me, and I just want to be a part of the community that everyone always talks about on Booktube. I want to meet friends that enjoy the same things that I do, just like everyone. 4, what is the meaning behind your channel name? My channel name is Corey Stories, which is basically my name with a play on reading, so it's nothing too complicated. 5, what types of books do you read? I generally read all over the board. So I read a lot of horror books and I read a lot of romance books, and then everything in between is dispersed. So I read some contemporary, some fantasy books, some books I don't really know what to classify them as. I just read all of the things that sound interesting to me. I don't like number 6, which is who are some of your favorite authors, because my favorite authors are always changing, so I don't think that I'm even going to really talk about that one. 7, what's the last book that you read? Sloppy First by Megan McCafferty, and this is actually a library book because it's a reread as well. I read this book in high school, and I saw someone I follow on Booktube that read it again recently, and she said that it's such a timeless book, and so I felt like I really needed to go back and reread it, and I'm so glad I did. And unfortunately my library doesn't have the second in the series, but I need to find one near me that does. What are you currently reading? Stranded by Bracken McLeod. I'm only 100 pages in, so I don't know where it's going to go from here, but I'm liking it so far. What do you use for bookmarks? Right now I'm using just this postcard that came in the same book subscription box that this book came in, but other times I use pictures. A lot of times I just remember what page I'm on, which might be weird, but I do that. Number 10, show us your current TBR. I'm not going to do that because my current TBR it's a living document. It's always growing. It's shrinking sometimes. It's mostly growing though, so you'll see as time goes on that I cannot stick to one solid TBR. Which do you prefer, hardcover or paperback? I like paperbacks a lot more because they're easier for me to read, and specifically I grabbed this one because it's floppy, and I love the feeling of these paperbacks when you put them down and they'll just sit nicely on the table. I love that. Okay, ebooks or physical books? I actually have a Kindle, so I read a lot of ebooks, but I prefer the physical book. I travel a lot for work, so I can't always have a physical book on me. I actually took like 6 books one time on a week-long trip, and it was stupid how heavy it made my bag. So I've been getting more into ebooks, even though I enjoy reading physical books. And owning or borrowing? Obviously, as most of us do, we like to own our books, but that is not always the most practical thing. Well, I find myself borrowing from the library when I'm not sure if I'm going to like a book. What book or series got you into reading? Unlike most people, I have not read the Harry Potter series, although I plan to do that this year. The series that got me into reading, there were 2 actually. The first one was a series of unfortunate events, which they were coming out as I was growing up, and then the 13th one took a long time to come out, so I'm not even sure I read that one. But other than that, in middle school, the biggest series that I can think of that me and all of my friends were reading was the Private series by Kate Bryan, which I just devoured. It was unreal how fast I was reading those books. It's scary to look back and think about how many books you read when you were in middle school or high school, when you were just doing nothing in class but reading. But I wish I knew the number. 13, how did you discover Booktube? I've actually been watching Booktube for about 5 years now, and the first person that I discovered was Ariel Bissett, like a lot of people. And so I've been watching her for a long time, and I think it was probably a year and a half or 2 years after I discovered her that I thought, there's probably other people who talk about books on YouTube, so I just started stalking around and I found some other people, and now I have new favorites, and here I am. Which challenges do you think you'll face with your channel? I think it's going to be hard for me to consistently upload videos. I do a lot of traveling. Most of the time I'm not at my house, so yeah, that's going to be a struggle in itself. Other than that, getting comfortable talking into a camera. Also, editing videos, I've never done that before, and I don't really like the sound of my own voice on those videos. So let's just be honest. Does anyone like the sound of their own voice? It's kind of, yeah, that's not what I sound like in my head, in case you were wondering. And 15, where else can we find you? Alright, I'm going to link my personal Instagram account. Even though I don't post that much about books on there, you can find me there. And then I have a Goodreads account, and obviously you can find me on YouTube, but I do not do the Twitter thing. I'm not going to do the Twitter thing, and so please don't ask me to do the Twitter thing. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll have another video up soon, and we can get to know each other a little better.